Well, history isn't learned necessarily just in history books or even at school. You can also learn a lot of history right here in Greeley at the Centennial Village Museum, as well as our downtown Greeley History Museum. And here to talk to us a little bit more about that education side of museums, we have with us today Kelby O'Connor. Kelby, great to have you again here. And today this is kind of a special conversation because we're talking about, as I mentioned before, education. Now, who would have thunk, it's not just old stuff, right? Sure, we can learn about, there's that tractor that, my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather used to use or whatever. But there's more to it than that. And the Greeley History Museum and the Centennial Village and just the museums program in general, you guys are a part of that education piece and just making sure people know where we came from.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's, of course, so much more to history and history education than just sitting in a classroom and reading from a textbook. And we're lucky enough to have a lot of hands-on opportunities out here at the museum just to engage a lot of different people in local history. And so we have a really awesome program going on at the moment called Hands-on History, where we've partnered with History Colorado to bring a full-day, month-long summer camp out to the village to help kids engage in history in a more hands-on way.
Yeah, and so I really like the idea of this, and I know that over the years that they have had kind of school experiences here at the Lone Valley School that we have behind us. Yeah. But this one's exceptional. This is a great program and really gets kids ingrained in that history and seeing what it was like growing up back then.
Yeah, absolutely. We have them doing things from embroidery and cross stitch to playing with our historic games as they're out here. We did some chuck wagon cooking last week that they had a really fun time with. So
yeah, it's a great experience for them, and it makes history much more, believable, I guess. Sometimes relatable, yes. Because sometimes you're just kind of going, okay, that happens, sure. But then when you live it and you go, that's not an easy thing to do. I learned this very quickly when I had to try to wash some clothes with an old wash tub at my grandmother's farm and found out, living was not as easy as it is now. So it's a great experience.
Yeah. They've been learning a lot of really cool things here, and we've got another program going on that's going to go on through September, I think is when it officially ends, but we'll be accepting the tickets all the way to December, called Ticket to Exploration, where you can come to our site, but you can also go to a few other locations in the Greeley area to learn about history and just a little bit of everything. We've partnered with the Lincoln the Colorado Model Railroad Museum as well as the city museums, so we have that really exciting opportunity for people as well.
Now, I know that we've touched on this a little bit with Inside Greeley before on that Ticket to Exploration, but just a reminder on that. It's kind of a passport program, am I remembering right, where people go, they go to different sites, they get some stamps, and maybe there's a little goodie at the end?
Yeah, so we have a fun little prize bag for the end, and you get free admission to all of these locations with the ticket for the kid who's participating and one of their adults. And it's just been a really great way to share the joy of history and our different history education that we have going on out here with the rest of the community.
Right, so there's one more we want to make sure that we touch on, and this is a biggie. I mean, they're all big, but this one's really big. This is like 4,000 kids big, and that's History Fest. Yeah,
so History Fest is an amazing partnership that we have with District 6, but just also all of the elementary schools around Greeley. And we have 4,000 kids coming every History Fest. We run about 20-ish stations where you can do anything from a historic house tour to making your own corn husk doll, soap carving, any of that. And so it's just a really cool experience for these kids to get out here.
Yeah, it's field trips were always my favorite when I was growing up, and this by far, I mean, I've heard older kids mention having gone to History Fest when they were younger, and it was a great experience for them. And so I'm so happy that that's continuing here. And it is also a vital part of your guys' program, which again is that education piece. And of course, a lot of what we've talked about here has been at Centennial Village, but there's also the Greeley History Museum as well.
Yeah, the Greeley History Museum has a lot of great educational opportunities. We have a couple exhibits that are semi-permanent. They're there for a fair amount of time, but we also have rotating exhibits, so it's a kind of place where you go in and you'll see something that you might not have seen before.
Yeah, and that's true. That's very true. There's every time I go, and I try to go when there's a new exhibit, it just blows my mind the quality of the exhibits as well as the information's there. It's just enough for me to feel like I learned something, but not overwhelm me and go, gosh, I have no idea what I just looked at. So we really appreciate that, or at least I do.
Yeah. We Really appreciate just having different community members come in and learn from our various educational opportunities, and we hope to see more people in the future.
All right. Well, we're going to end it with that. Thank you so much, Kelby, for being here today. And we look forward to folks checking out more of the history and the educational opportunities that we have here and programs in Greeley. So if you want to learn more about all of this and maybe get a chance to meet Kelby here, I'm embarrassing just a little bit, make sure that you head on over to GreeleyMuseums.com for more.